We begin at this shelf. This is shelf number 1 of my collection here. It was all the way up there. So let's get on this step stool here really carefully. And you begin with the film 10 with Bo Derek and Dudley Moore. Let's see here. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Years a Slave. (1917). Nice steelbook. 1984 on 4K. This is a media book. (2010), the year we made contact. This is a French release. 2012 on 4K. 310 to Yuma, the remake. 30 Days of Night. Nice steelbook. 444, Last Day on Earth. 47 Meters Down, and I think the sequel might be in here as well. Yeah, I did enjoy both films. Shark movies, as they go these days, do not get any better than those. Here's 48 Hours. Another 48 Hours. The Fifth Wave. The Sixth Day. 65, which I did enjoy. 976 Evil with that cool slip from Sony. Here's 9.5 Weeks. And actually this one should have been first. 9, the animated feature. I'm not really much into animated features, but you will see a handful of titles throughout my collection. Now we start with the Arrow titles. Here's Audition on steelbook from Arrow. 12 Monkeys. The Apartment. Here's Apprentice to Murder. This is a Lakeshore title. Of course, American Werewolf in London. Beautiful chipboard. American Gigolo. Chipboard. Too bad it's blank in the at the back there. Here's Andromeda Strain on 4K. Excellent film. Audrey Rose, another excellent 70s supernatural thriller there. Here's The Annihilators. And I think this includes also the Kino disc. Kino also released that on Blu-ray. Alice, Sweet Alice on 4K. This is the Arte Originale cover, exclusive to Arrow. Here's the Arrow Enter the Video Store set with these 4 films. Looking great. Battle Royale 4K set. The Burbs on steel. Rounding out this top shelf is Blood and Black Lace, the Blu-ray steelbook. Here is Beyond the Door 2 with the exclusive slip, and this is Bloodstone, the film by Dwight Little, early 80s. All right. And as you can see, that was the top shelf. This is The second line here is Blood and Hunger, 3 films by Jose Larraz. Bloodthirsty trilogy. Here's Black Hat. Burst City. Black Cat's collection with the Black Cat and Your Vice is a Locked Key and Only I Have. Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Here's Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. This is a region locked Blu-ray. It looks fantastic on Blu-ray. I decided not to get the 4K version of that. Here's basket case. Brotherhood of Satan. Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Black Mama, White Mama. You know what? I'm going to step back a little bit just to get a better perspective. And I need to be really careful. I'm not getting any younger, and if I fall off of this thing, I think I'll be toasted. Much better. Bloody Birthday. Here's Blood Tide. Blood Rage. A Bay of Blood. Bloodstained Butterfly. Blood Money. 4 classic westerns. The Golden Harvest set. Bruce Lee. Bullets and Betrayal. This was a blind buy. And Count Yorga, or Yogurt as I call it. Here's the Carrie 4K. Here's City of the Living Dead. And Class of Nukem High. And the Chill Factor. Cemetery Without Crosses, French film, French Western, and Children of the Corn box set, which features the first film in 4K, and parts 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. All right, let me go down a step. Here is City of the Dead. Here's The Climber. Cat 09 Tales. I'm a big Jelly fan, as you can see. Is The Car. Nice artwork. I did upgrade Cruising. So that's it. That's the kind of minimalist artwork, but it works for me. Here's Umberto Lenzi's Nightmare City, aka City of the Walking Dead. For that artwork. Another Italo splatter classic, Contamination. I think it's a Luigi Cozy film. Here's the original Crazies from Romero. Here's Chud. Case of the Scorpion's Tail. The Child. The Conan films. I did opt for the individual slips, which are beautiful, very, very beautiful. Cinema Paradiso. I believe it's just is it a 4K? Yeah, it's a 4K. But just the theatrical cut. Excellent film, one of my favorites. Here's The Cell. Chronicles of Riddick. Carlito's Way. I went for this variant of Phenomena, aka Creepers. This film was released as Creepers in the U.S. back in the early 80s. Here's Candyman. Crash. Dune. Deep Red. I gotta get off this. I think I can do better without it. And Driller Killer, the Steelbook edition. Desperado. Demolition Man. Death Smiles on a Murderer, filmed by Joe D'Amato. Original Dark Water. Day of Anger with Lee Van Cleef. Day of the Jackal. Here's Kurt Russell's Dark Blue. Death Walks Twice. 2 films by Luciano Ercoli. Too Jolly by Luciano Ercoli. Donnie Darko. Great film. Quintessential favorite of mine, The Demons on 4K. Demons 1 and 2. Death Screams, which is still sealed. It's sealed because I had both versions. This is the Arrow exclusive. I did sell the other version, kept this one, but as you can see, it's still sealed. But interesting little slasher film from the early 80s. This is here because I'm not gonna, I might end up selling that. This is a recent Vinegar Syndrome pickup. But yeah, I'm not really into these types of films, so this is going into the sale pile. Next up is Deadly Manor. Here's Django, Prepare a Coffin. Dunwich Horror. Dillinger. Doom Asylum. Don't Go in the House. DEFCON 4. Deadly Games. Deep Blue Sea. Don't Torture a Duckling on 4K. Dress to Kill. Lucio Fulci's Demonia. Django. Scorned is the One Who Ran. Eaten Alive. The Exterminator. Edge of the Axe. There's Foxy Brown. Fall of the House of Usher. A horizontal steelbook. Here's the Female Prisoner Scorpion collection. A Fish Called Wanda, classic comedy. Photo of a Lady Above Suspicion. The Fifth Chord. Fury, Fox film, which is now out of, this is definitely out of print. So this is kind of rare and maybe hard to find, I don't know. Here's the first 2 FX films. Recent pickup. Fistful of Dollars, 4K from Arrow. I've got for a few dollars more on its way to me as we speak. Flatliners, I got rid of the slipcover. I did not like the slip, but much prefer this artwork. Friday the 13th remake. Fighting Back. Fear is the Key. The Far Country. $5 for an August Moon. Flowers in the Attic. Here's FM. Here is Gothic Fantastico. The Good, the Bad, the Weird. Girls Night Out. And The Grand Duo. Gonna grab a chair for this portion. This video is going to be unedited in the raw, as they say. So I'm not going to make any cuts to this or add graphics or do any of that stuff. So this will be an in the raw kind of video, and I'm going to have to break it up into parts because my collection is just too big. All right, so let's see what we got here. This is The Great Escape. Excellent, excellent. I wish they would do more with the backs, the back covers, and not just leave them mostly blank. But this looks pretty good on 4K. The Arrow did a great job with that. No regrets to double dip. Here's the House collection with all 4 films. and they are region free. Beautiful, beautiful set. Arrow says they're not gonna do a 4K for the moment, so which is kind of unfortunate. But these do look great on Blu-ray, and this is a great set. Hellgate. Hired to Kill. The Hired Hand. Hiroshima. The House That Screamed. A former Shout Factory title. Spanish film from the late 60s. Hitchhike to Hell. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer on 4K. Here's the beautiful, beautiful Hellraiser Quartet of Terror or Horror. It's Torment, actually. Hellraiser Quartet of Torment. It's a beautiful set. The Arrow came up with a couple of years ago. It's just fantastic. Fantastic. Here's the Human Condition trilogy. Masaki Kobayashi's Human Condition trilogy. Is it Arrow? Yeah, it's Arrow Academy. Now defunct label, sub-label. Horror Express. Great film. Here's Heathers. 4K. Hills Have Eyes original. And some of you may think I'm nuts for saying this, but I do prefer the sequel. Nice chipboard collection there. Here are a couple versions of House by the Cemetery. Two masterpieces by Lucio Fulci. This is the Art Originale Arrow exclusive edition, and this is the regular retail version. Had to have both. Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe. Sorry about all the dust. A collection of Portuguese films. Iguana with the Tongue of Fire. Initiation of Sarah. It's a TV movie. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Beautiful set. Inglourious Bastards. Awesome film. The Initiation, fantastic slasher. Big slasher fan here. Dario Argento's Inferno. White window box edition. J-Horror Rising from Arrow. Great set of Japanese supernatural horror films. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. Must-haves. Absolute must-haves. Any self-respecting horror fan will have these two films in their collection. Ju-on, The Grudge. With the first film as a 4K. The rest are Blu-ray. Here's JD's Revenge. Jake Speed. Killer Nun. The Two Gothic Chillers by Emilio Moralia. The Red Queen kills 7 times, and the night Evelyn came out of the grave. Colobos, Kioma. Here is The Killer reserved 9 seats. Kill Baby Kill. Excellent Mario Balla film. King of New York. Lies in Deceit. 5 films by Claude Chabrol. Here's Loop Track, a newer film. You won't see a lot of new films in my collection. Most of it is just back catalog stuff. You'll see some, but not a whole bunch. Last Starfighter, Last House on the Left remake, The Lighthouse, Legend, Long Good Friday, Long Kiss Goodnight, Lover's Lane, Life Force 4K, Last House on the Left, The Last Emperor, My Darling Clementine from Arrow Academy, Murphy's War, Microwave Massacre, Mill of the Stone Women, Major Dundee, Mark of the Devil, By Sword, by Pick, by Axe, by The Mutilator, Madhouse, Mute Witness, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Night Falls on Manhattan, and Narc. Who doesn't have Narc in their collections? Here is the Nico Mastorakis box set. Fairly recent release. 2 necromantic films. Whoops. The Navigator. I think it's a film from New Zealand, a fantasy film. Here's Over the Edge. Obsession, the Brian De Palma film, White Window Box Edition. One Missed Call trilogy. Metallic type of slipcover. The Psycho collection. Who does not have this in their collections? Fantastic set. All 4 films on 4K. It's mind-blowing stuff. Must-haves. A couple of Ringo films, Pistol for Ringo and Return of Ringo. Pretty good slasher, The Prey, with an international cut, which is about a half hour longer. Pajama Girl Case, Phantom of the Mall. One of my favorites of all time, Pitch Black, looking great on 4K. Pulse, excellent Korean film, I think. Porky's, the original. Pray for Death. Excellent post-apocalyptic, The Quiet Earth. Needs a 4K. Here's the Ring collection. I kind of wanted to have this together with Ju-on, and I did for a while, but I decided to go with alphabetical, instead of a thematic shelving thing. Here's Rabid, Steelbook edition, Rogue Cops and Robbers set. This has the Big Racket and the Heroin Busters. Another white window box is Red Scorpion. I'm not sure why this hasn't been updated yet, but this is a fantastic film. Runaway Train, Canon film. Requisant, French Western. Of course, it's RoboCop. Who does not have RoboCop in their collection? Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. Raging Fury, or I think it's, what's the other title? Hell High. Reanimator. Bride of Reanimator. and the Seijun Suzuki Early Years Volume 2. Down here, we've got the Stray Cat Rock collection. A collection of Japanese films. Shohei Imamura. Survivor Ballads. 3 films by Shohei Imamura. I hope I said that right. Here is 16 Candles. Is that a 4K? I don't even remember. I think it might just be the regular Blu-ray. And it's Blu-ray, I think. Yeah, it's Blu-ray. The Shootist. Here's an old Paramount horror film, The Sender. And kind of in the same vein as Carrie and Patrick. Psychokinesis or telekinesis stuff. Scalpel. 70s drama thriller. Scared Stiff. One of my favorites, 70s sci-fi. This is Silent Running, a 4K. It looks fantastic. And there's a steelbook in there. Beautiful stuff. Actually, this may be. Is this even an Arrow steelbook? It might be from a different company. No, I'm wrong. But I did have another steelbook for this film somewhere. I think I may have sold it. That was from a different company that had similar artwork. That's why I thought this was it. But just beautiful artwork. Matte finish there. Great film from the 70s. Great sci-fi classic from the 70s. Here is Strip Nude for Your Killer. Suspicious Death of a Minor. Here is the Complete Sartana. Spaghetti Western films. A whole bunch of them. Switchblade Sisters. A Simple Plan. On 4K. Gotta have the 4K versions. 4K is just a great format. If you're a big film fan, you're gonna want everything on 4K, including movies like Slugs. Love Slugs. And I guess I can get rid of this. This was just announced for 4K, upcoming 4K, and the release is going to include the 30 minutes of footage that they found recently, and it won't be on 4K, but it'll be on a separate disc, which I just can't wait to watch because it's a personal favorite, long-time favorite. Another Savage Guns Western collection. This one is. This one includes the Four of the Apocalypse, Wrath of the Wind, El Puro, and I Want 'Em Dead. So yeah, nice. Another series of films that I wanted to keep together, but because they did aesthetically they look great together on the shelf, but I decided to go for Alphabetical. What's this? What is this? Oh, Death, Smile Before Death. Kind of looks like Robert De Niro a little bit. Society, Brian Usna film with the flesh-like slipcase. Squirm, personal favorite. The Slayer, love this film. Slaughterhouse-Five. Silence of the Lambs, 4K. Two Witches. Trapped Alive. Here's Trick or Treat. Good anthology. Awesome film. True Romance. Now, this is a bit of a homemade combo pack. This is because I included the awesome steelbook in there. This did not, I don't believe it had a steelbook, but I purchased this separately and just stuck it in the box. Looks great. So yeah, True Romance. Toys Are Not for Children. Torso on 4K saturates the screen with terror. This is the Arrow exclusive edition. Tin Star, classic Western, and Terminal Man. Interesting sci-fi film. And the bottom shelf, all the way at the bottom, we've got Tremors 1 and 2. The Vengeance Trails, 4 classic westerns. Massacre Time. Lucio Fulci. The Vagrant and Vamp, personal favorite. Love Vamp. Hopefully it makes it to 4K someday. This is the Wrath When Titans Rule the Earth collection on 4K. Nice sturdy chipboard. White Fire. The Weapon, The Hour, The Motive. Weird Science. The Wind. Waterworld. Witness and Wild Things. Try and grab a few of these at a time because that last shelf is a killer. Here's What Have You Done to Solange? Who Saw Her Die? Really love that one. This is an Aldo Lado jelly. And What Have They Done to Your Daughters? From a film by Massimo Dallamano. I went with this version of The Warriors. And I think last two titles. Here's the next to last. This is the Years of Lead collection. 5 classic Italian crime thrillers. Does anyone remember No Shame, DVD label from the 90s, early 2000s? They released a bunch of those movies on DVD. And here's The Zero Boys, a Nico Mastorakis film, which I did kind of enjoy. I enjoyed quite a bit, actually. Nico Mastorakis film. Nico Mastorakis is hit or miss, in my opinion. All right, so we're going to go to the next shelf, which is past my TV here. Bring my trusty step ladder. So yeah, it's this one here. You can see. Oh, and I did forget to show some steel books. These are some steelbooks that I own that I have attached to the wall. It's Alien Covenant and Alien and Prometheus way up there. And this is my City of the Living Dead tapestry that I got from Cauldron Films. Again, I'm going to be doing this video in parts because of the volume, the sheer volume that I have to share with you guys. I'm going to get rid of some crap that I have lying around here first. All right, and let's get rid of that stuff temporarily. All right, so let's get up to the top shelf here. The top shelf is 88 films titles. So you can bear with me here for a second. All right, so that's my 88 films. Just do a quick pan before I show each one. Okay, let's start with, I've got these cool little dividers here. So up first from 88 is 2019, After the Fall of New York. This is said to be coming soon, probably via Severin to 4K. Hopefully that's true, because I do enjoy this film. American Ninja Collection 1 through 4. Five is owned by Warner, so it wouldn't be in this set. Here's Absurd in the exclusive rigid case. This is a film by Joe D'Amato, I believe. Italian collection. Anthropophagus the Beast, also exclusive, or the 88 films exclusive rigid set. This is a 4K, and it looks really good. Lucio Fulci's Enigma. Muck. These are in no particular order except from A to Z. You know, they're not like numbered or anything. Ark of the Sun God. Burial Ground. Must own if you're into these kinds of movies. Here's an early Lucio Fulci flick, Beatrice Cenci. Buo Omega. Joe D'Amato film, Beyond the Darkness. Mad Dog Killer. Cannibal Terror. Cannibal Holocaust. Drive. 4K. Devil Hunter. Doll of Satan. This one has a kind of a velvety feel to it. Doll of Satan. Eyeball, the 88 film was exclusive rigid box. Great little jolly from the 70s, directed by Lucio Fulci. Here's 11 Days, 11 Nights. Here's the Flesh and Blood Show. Excellent collection of Pete Walker films from 88. Oh, a bunch of movies there. My favorite is the actual Flesh and Blood Show. Gestapo's Last Orgy. Green Inferno, a late entry a jungle cannibal flick, also known as Cannibal Holocaust 2. Hands of Steel, House on the Edge of the Pack, 4K. Hell of the Living Dead on 4K. Of all films, this film is on 4K. How about that? A couple of Hollow Man films, 1 and 2. Iron Master. I think this was released also by Code Red in the US, which I may still have. I'm not sure. Here's a Van Damme flick, knockoff. Another Van Damme again, Legionnaire. Here is Macabre, Umberto Bava. And another Van Damme, Maximum Risk. I think these are all 90s, like mid to late 90s films. Here's Miami Vice. Good movie. Night of the Comet. Paganini Horror. And last but not least, Nun and the Devil. All right, down here we got Piranha 2, The Spawning, Paranoia. I think it's Umberto Lenzi. Nice velvety feel to that slip. More Van Damme. I guess I should keep these together. Replicant. You know, I've forgotten that I even own some of these films. So that's 4 Van Damme films from 88 films. Here's Short Circuit 2. Seven Bloodstained Orchids. SWAT. SS Experiment Camp. Swamp Thing. Two Moon Junction. Thomas Crown Affair remake. Pretty good remake, I think. Two Evil Eyes. I did not upgrade to 4K. This is just fine for me. Not a big fan of that. And this is a Lucio Fulci film. I think it's Touch of Death. Yeah, Touch of Death. Urban Legends collection. Vertical Limit. Violent Professionals. Witchcraft. White Slave. Zombie 3. And Zombie Holocaust. And on 4K. That concludes my 88 films. Now we go with the A's. As you can see, I got the A labeled there. Here's the Hitchcock Collection Volume 1, 2, and 3. Here's Alien. The steelbook I have on the wall over there. Pretty awesome collection. And of course, the Alien Anthology. Alien Covenant. Steelbook is on the wall. Alien vs. Predator 2. This is a German version with a Cenotype there. But this is a US disc. I think is this a 2-disc set? No. I think this is the first film. This might be the first Alien, because there are two films. That's the first one, and this is the sequel. Yeah, that's the sequel. Alright, so that's got a Senate type. This is a Sin Edition. Limited Sin Edition version. Of course, who doesn't have Aliens on 4K? Alien Romulus. This was pretty good. The Abyss. American Scream. Adoration. African Queen. 4K. Apocalypto. Atomic Blonde. Angel Has Fallen. There's a custom slip I had made for the beach, but I actually can't find my Blu-ray copy, my DVD copy. All right, moving along. Let me get off this step stool. Maybe I can do it from here. All right, we got the late night classics here. Late night classics. Assault of the Party Neds. Here's Angel Heart, which is just an Amaray set, a Blu-ray set. I think I can get off this. You know what? Let me turn on the lights. Kitchen here. And let's see, where was I? Yeah, all right, so Angel Heart. Another version of Angel Heart. Here is Above the Law, aka Nico. Media book. Here's Avengers. Age of Ultron. I think this is Infinity War. Yeah. Endgame. Amadeus. Akira. Again, I'm not really into animation very much, but some films you just have to add to your collection. A beautiful slipcase. Gorgeous, gorgeous steelbook. Oh my goodness. That really is fantastic. Fantastic. It's got a couple of paint chips, I think. Oh no, they're not paint chips. Oh, good. Yeah, this is just a gorgeous steelbook for an anime classic, Akira. Apocalypse Now. Final Cut. As Above, So Below. From Film Arena. Here's American Made, Tom Cruise film. Here's the first Avatar. And the second, Way of Water. Aquaman. Still sealed. It's an okay movie. Not as bad as people make it out to be. Here's the sequel, which I still have not seen. French film, and soon The Darkness, which was remade in the US. Pamela Franklin from Legend of Hell House. All Quiet on the Western Front. US media book, which are kind of rare. The Arrival. Allied. The Aftermath from 1982, I believe. And another film called Aftermath. Ad Astra, To the Stars, with a custom slip. Air Force One steelbook. Annihilation. Abandoned. The A-Team steelbook. The Amusement Park. Almost Famous. Alien 2 on Earth. This is the one and only release from Midnight Legacy. Blu-ray looks fantastic. Here's a bootleg of Alive, the 1993 cannibal flick. Aled Quatermain in The Lost City of Gold. Olive. Alone. Pretty good recent thriller. Absolute Power. Above the Law. Anthropoid, a war film. Here's Atomica. really hate these clasp things. They never stay shut. Got to replace all these stupid things. Here's Off the Sun from A24. Excellent film, Off the Sun. Autopsy of Jane Doe. I think it's a Canadian version. Very good modern thriller. The Accountant, which I enjoyed, and there's a sequel that's already been made and coming out soon to Blu-ray or 4K. Arctic. Abigail. And American Sniper on 4K. The Clint Eastwood film. Gonna grab my chair. Be right back. All right, so back here we got AI, German release. Love this film. All is Lost. Perfect drama. Aniara. Action Jackson. Arachnophobia. Adventures in Babysitting. Adjustment Bureau. 3-film Annabelle Collection. Arlington Road. Assault on a Queen. And soon The Darkness. Here's Adrift. Off the Earth 4K. I'm sorry, a Blu-ray Steelbook. Aftershock. Awakenings. One of my few DVDs, he is American Nightmare by Scorpion. And Alita Battle Angel. Here come the bees. Blade Runner. Beautiful steelbook. Classic art. One of a kind steelbook. Bridge on the River Kwai. This is a Blu-ray set, but it does contain the 4K. As you can see. There's the Blu-ray. Nice rigid box, which is why I kept it. You know, you don't really want to get rid of stuff like this. You know, this stuff protects your discs from damage and whatever, scratches. Here's the 4-film Batman collection box set. Here's the original Batman. Wait, hang on, I don't want to. Original Batman. And these contain the Best Buy steelbooks. I got rid of the Best Buy packaging. I just stuck with these. Batman Returns. Batman and Batman Forever. Batman and Robin. So these slipcases are made by Blockbuster Box Sets. If you go to his website, theblockbusterboxsets.com, he makes and sells these really nice, hard, rigid slipcases for a number of films Some are Marvel films, some are horror films, but in general, he does really good work. Excuse me. Black Christmas. I think from 2006, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Region B Blu-ray. Sorry about that. Blood-sucking pharaohs in Pittsburgh. I picked this up blindly from Diabolic. Pretty low number 11 out of 444. And I've never even heard of this until I saw this on Diabolic maybe 7 months ago. So he had this for sale, and I picked it up. Bad taste. This is the old Anchor Bay DVD. How could you get rid of this? This is a must-own, especially considering that we may not ever see these again in their original gritty form. Whenever Jackson gets around to releasing these, they're gonna end up looking like Pixar movies. So, hang on. Those of you who still have these, hang on to them. I'm certainly not getting rid of mine. And this is an entire DVD for just a 30-minute featurette. I guess back in those early days, they didn't mind splurging a little bit. So yeah, Bad Taste on DVD there from Anchor Bay. Here's a media book of the film Boy, which I haven't seen yet. Apparently there's a sequel to this, which I'm not sure if I want to see, but I picked this up mainly for the artwork. I mean, and I admit that a good number of my titles I do own because of the artwork, not necessarily because of the film. Even though I'm a big horror fan. But this is it's got like a fabric kind of feel to it. And I don't know. I mean, there were 2 films made, so I guess that means it's kind of popular, right? The franchise does have some fans, at least. But yeah. The Boy. Here's White Apache, a French release of an Italian film, White Apache. Bianco Apache. Blu-ray. It's from the mid-'80s. And I haven't seen it yet. Buried. The claustrophobia-inducing film with... Who is this? Ryan Reynolds is in this? Is that Ryan Reynolds? Buried. It's a UK edition here. Here's Bullet, the infamous Steve McQueen film from the late 60s with the famous car chase. This is rumored to be coming to 4K. I hope it's true. Here's a personal favorite of mine, Bloodwork. I really enjoyed this film. Another stupid clasp here that won't stay shut, man. I really hate these. They just pop right open. This one didn't, which is good. Here's my Beetlejuice collection set from Blockbuster box sets. Yeah, he does really good work. Mucho excelente. And I've just got the regular 4Ks in there. Except this one, I believe might be the Steelbook. Hold on. I think this is the Steelbook. Yeah, it is. How old is Winona Ryder in this film? This is a pull-up. Oh, cute. Didn't know that. And I think this is supposed to glow in the dark, but I haven't tried yet. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Yeah. Whatever. Sometimes I buy movies just because of the artwork. That's nothing wrong with that. Here are a couple of DVDs. This is Black Demons by Umberto Lenzi and The Bunker. '91, and this was 2002, I believe. Good movies. Here's Barbed Wire. Don't call me babe, huh? Okay, babe. It's a German release, as you can see by that huge logo. Who did this? Was it Turbine? Yep, it was Turbine. All right, next up is The Butterfly Effect. On Steelbook. Up next is Boys in the Hood. Bad Dreams, 88 films, slasher classics collection. You're not going to see this again. It's a Fox film, so hang on to your copies, boys and girls. Here's a DVD that I cherish a lot. This is Baby Sister with Phoebe Cates. It's a TV movie from the early 80s. Here's Bad Boys 1 and 2 on 4K. Digipacks. They're Digipacks. Bad Boys for Life. And Bad Boys Ride or Die. Sorry about that. I've got the coffin set somewhere in the closet, but it's not in great shape. So I just took these out and put them on the shelf as is. So this is actually the Shout Factory Blu-ray in here, even though it's a DVD case from Blue Underground. There's a Shout Factory disc Blu-ray inside. Since they released this film on Blu-ray. Compañeros. Dead and Buried with the classic artwork. Death Dream. When it comes to Blue Underground, I think I'm done with these guys because they're currently focusing on movies that are not my cup of tea in a way. You know, like I'm not really into Jess Franco movies. I'm not into Fu Manchu or, you know, much of the stuff that they're coming out with these days. I mean, I love stuff like this, like The Final Countdown, and I'm super stoked that they gave this the 4K treatment. But there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm not really a big fan of in their library. So here's God Told Me To. This is supposedly part of a trilogy. This is like part 3 of a trilogy. I don't know what happened to the first 2. Maybe a different company owns them, but maybe I shouldn't watch this until I get the first 2, or if there's 2, there might be just one, but if there's 2, I want to see the first 2 first before I see that one. Here's Goodbye Uncle Tom. Is a Franco Nero crime film, High Crime. Love Camp 7. The Lift. Manhattan Baby. Bibby. Maniac Cops 2 and 3. On Blu-ray, I did not upgrade. Here's the original Maniac. I think there might be a 4K in there. I do these combo packs sometimes for space issues. And I think this, yeah, there it is. It is the 4K. All right, good. And what is this, the comic book? Comic book and the soundtrack CD down there. This is a quintessential slasher film that should be in every horror collection. You can't call yourself a slasher fan or even a horror fan if you don't have Maniac in there, in my opinion. Okay, let's continue on. What's this? This is Machine Gun McCain. Man, Pride and Vengeance. A New York Ripper. New Barbarians. The Prowler. Here's Raw Meat, great film. Excellent slasher from Italy. Stage Fright. One of my personal favorites, Shockwaves. Stendhal Syndrome. Toolbox Murders. Uncle Sam. Vigilante. Venom. I'm sticking with the Blu-ray for that one. Last but not least, from Blue Underground, we've got the classic Zombie, which has just been announced by Arrow as well. So, and I did get both versions. All right, continuing on. That was my Blue Underground section, as you can see there. And here you've got Back to the Future, another box set from Blockbuster Box Sets. Basic Instinct from Studio Canal, 4K. Here's a big red one, the reconstruction, I think. Let's find out. All right, so the reconstruction is on a DVD. As you can see, for some reason, the studio did not see fit to make a Blu-ray out of the reconstruction. Here's a letter from Richard Schickel, the producer of the reconstruction. Sam Fuller's The Big Red One. I like that film. Don't judge me. So do I. I also like this one, but again, do not judge. Just cheesy fun there. Blind Date, I have not seen yet. It's a Nico Mastorakis film. And Black and Blue. With Naomi Harris. Down here, we got an Olive film bestseller. Some kind of a thriller. Thriller now. Here's Beautiful. With Javier Bardem. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Great fucking movie. Bone Tomahawk and Steelbook Form. Another great movie. Breaker 1-9. Chuck Norris. He looks better with the mustache. Here's a Fox classic, Big. Tom Hanks and Big. The 25th anniversary edition. Black Mass. This is a really cool steelbook. Really cool. This comes off, I think. Yeah, this comes off. Just a magnet. And that's the actual steel. But let's keep this on because this is so cool. It's so cool. Right? And yeah, Black Mass from some foreign label. They love these special slip boxes. Here's speaking of boxes, here's the box. This was adopted from an episode of the 80s version of The Twilight Zone. Very good movie, very interesting. Here's The Beekeeper in steelbook form. It's a German release. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. An early Fox Blu-ray digipack. Broken Arrow, which I will probably watch today. I'm in the mood for a nice, good 90s action flick, and I should get a fresh case of that. The Bodyguard. Let's hope that this comes out from Arrow on 4K, since they have a deal with Warner Brothers. Great film. Babylon A.D., which I did enjoy. This is a French steelbook. Here's my Bourne collection, starting with the Bourne Legacy. Which, I did enjoy this. I did enjoy this entry. This is really. I thought it was really good. I mean, some people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it, and this is the only steelbook I own of the film in this series. So, starting from the back is Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy, and of course the Bourne Identity. Bourne Identity. Okay, let's put those back in order. Order, please. Order in the courts. Jason Bourne, Ultimatum, and Supremacy. So yeah, I got the Back to the Future series on 4K. This is the third film, parts 2 and the original. Here's the Book of Eli. Great film. A Bronx Tale. Blind Date. Battle Los Angeles. Body Double. Blood Beach on DVD, import. Here's The Babysitter. Black Swan. Now this one I made a combo pack of. This is the Black Swan film that contains the original version Etoile that was released by Scorpion. I liked it. Backdraft, which I've never seen before. I haven't seen the majority of these films, to be completely honest. Well, I wouldn't say majority, because there's a ton of my personal favorites from my youth in here, in my collection. So I wouldn't say the majority, but there's a good chunk, a decent chunk of films that I have yet to see in my own collection. But I'll get to them eventually. It's not about watching everything by a certain time. You have to be in a certain mood to check these out. Brady Bunch 1 and 2. Blood on Satan's Claw. This is an import. Here's Bridge of Spies. Spielberg flick. A Spielberg flick with Tom Hanks. Another Olive film, Breeders. Nice artwork. Birth of a Nation. The Black Sea. Bachelor Party. Bumblebee. Batman v Superman. Dawn of Justice in 3D. Zack Snyder film, I think. Cool. Cool. This is an O-ring, as they call them. I don't know who made this. Nova Media. Nova Media is a South Korean company that does very nice. That used to do very nice steelbooks. Now these days, they don't do a whole lot of much. This is Bay of Blood, I think. Yeah, Bay of Blood. It's a beautiful media book edition. Beautiful, just beautiful. Real beauty. Black Panther. Black Hawk Down. 4K. Beautiful steelbook. The Blob 58 in media book form. Beware of the blob, blub, blub, blub. Here is Basket Case Trilogy from the Second Sight, steelbook. And this is Breakdown. This is a media book from Turbine. Ultra HD. That's the end of that size, and we're going to continue on. Now, down here is a couple of more regular titles, and then we have my Code Red section. I'm going to end the video at the Code Red section and continue with it on my next video, because it's running a bit long. Here is Bonnie's Kids and Centerfold Girls. On one disc. This is from Gorgon Video. And here's another copy of Breakdown that I picked up. It's a UK edition. The BFG. Band of the Hand. Here's Body Heat. The Beach House. Bangkok Dangerous. Battle Beneath the Earth and the Ultimate Warrior. And Blood and Snow. All right, so like I said, I'm going to end the video here. When we pick up next time on Volume 2, it'll be with the Code Red titles, which are quite a bit, as you can see there, and it continues down here. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. I have a lot more to show you guys and to share with you. I don't want these videos to run too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. Hopefully you stuck around with me and you enjoyed the video, and please leave any comments below. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye.